some either on Saturday evening or Sunday evening. It's Saturday this week, it's Sunday next week, Saturday the week after, Sunday the week after that, and so on and so forth. So I can't tell you how delighted I am for them. They've got their first permanent minister in 1859, and then it was a Sunday morning service from then on. Now this church was used full-time from 1854 when it opened. It was the congregation's second building. The first one was the log cabin structure they put up in 1837. By about 1840 they decided to make it a bit small for the congregation. So apparently they really liked each other, and it took them another 12 years to figure out the property and put this one on. So not too concerned. So 1854 through 1925 was used full-time. It's about 135 people, and it would have been pretty much full right up until the war years of that first World War. And then it would have gotten smaller to more than half the labor force out of town to help with the effort. In 1925, after the war was all over, the congregation here is quite small. This is across the war column for a lot of churches at that time. So the Methodist Church, the Episcopal Methodists, had finally given in and joined in 1870, joined with the Presbyterian Church as well as some of the other congregational churches here in Canada to form a new church. Did anybody know what that new church was? Not that new anymore. In 1925? The United Church of Canada, absolutely. So the idea was to take those small congregations and groups them together so you have more bodies supporting fewer buildings. Which is a great idea, works financially. A little questionable in terms of people, especially if you happen to be one of the ones asked to go somewhere else. And that was the story from Mountsberg. They were asked to cross Highway 6 to join the Rockton United in 1925, which was a big deal for them because, of course, now they're getting a different version of their denomination. It's going to be a blend of Methodist, Presbyterian, and most congregational churches. And it's going to be not in their community, and it's not this church. And they have to cross Highway 6. People in Mountsberg didn't cross Highway 6. It's not that they couldn't, or that people were mean to them, they just didn't. Before the war started, Mountsberg was shaping up to be a massive hub in this area. That's where all the goods were going into and out of. The trains are there, they're stopping, goods are coming in, goods are going out. It was quite the place to be. During the war years, the trains became less frequent, so less movement of goods, until eventually the trains stopping in Westfield. And then post office. So it didn't recover from that. So they're no longer able to do what they need to do in Mountsberg. If they couldn't do what they needed to do in Mountsberg, they would go north to Guelph, they would go east to Milton, they would go south to Burlington, but they didn't cross Highway 6. So being asked to go to church across the highway, big deal. We did have 3 reactions from the group that were here in 1925. We had a few intrepid souls that did cross Highway 6, joined the Filtering United, and of course they were very welcome and all went well. And then we had a few families that said no, we want to be able to worship in our own community. You tell us we can't do it at our own church on a regular basis. We're going to find the next closest option to what we're used to, so they attended service at the Baptist church, which is often still there. And then we had a few absolute holdout families. There were about 3 or 4 of them. They said, no, we're not leaving Mountsberg, we're not leaving Episcopal Methodism, we're not leaving this church. And the only way for them to keep it from being absorbed into the United Church was to have at least 1 service a year. So they had 2. They had 1 in December and 1 in June. That carried on into the later part of the 1940s. And then it dropped to 1 service a year after the happening in June into the late part of the 1960s. In 1968, they were looking at the building and what they had available in terms of funds to deal with the upkeep needed, and of course what they had and what they needed to do didn't match. They looked at other options. Westfield had come into being shortly there before, so they decided to donate the church here. So it had its last regular Sunday service in its original location in June of 1969. Followed by a deconsecration service. They cut the building in half to move it here in the fall of 1969. Which way did they cut it? What did they cut? The first one. Sorry?
I'm guessing.
You're guessing.
Well,
and you're the first one to guess right to
the structure of the building, but
yeah, it was this way that it was cut. Can't really tell from the inside because when they put it back together, they cleaned it all up, redid the plaster work. And it's really hard to see here. But if you have to wander around the outside of the building facility, you can see the cut, but pretty well done. So when they had it cleaned up, those structural rods are for integrity. Those are pictures 1970. Also, while I have been looking up, the electricity came into the building in 1911. Its original location was not far off the main road that had a power line.
And this where you said the original location was?
Mountsberg.
Mountsberg?
Mountsberg. It's just on the other side of Highway 6, a little north from the building.
Okay.
And 1911, pink and gray are the original colors. So when they scraped it all back up into that, he found that these were the first colors that was ever painted. Please guys have a wander around, have a look, so you can see where the dividers used to be for when you came in, and those front center ones. On the table here we have a picture of Charles Mount. He was a carpenter. He was Josiah Mount's son. Josiah was one of the first settlers into the Mountsberg area. It was from that family that the township is named. And he's not 22 in this picture, but he was 22 when he put in charge of the bill. Also up here we have some pictures of the interior when it still had the woodland stove and the location when it was situated in its original location as well as some diagrams for the cut. Any questions? Please don't hesitate to ask. I know some answers. Wow.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Hello there.
What's your job?
Don't